can see it. We'll just get really organized here.
Yay. Well, it's Tuesday night, and Rachel, my good friend, she's an acupuncturist and a longtime nurse, has agreed to come and share her tips on how to get ready for school and how kids can create their own toolkit for managing stress and helping with focus and boosting their immune system. Thank you so much, Rachel, for coming and doing this for us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Um, I'm new to this fun like Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever day we're doing. So I appreciate you having me on because I love teaching. So let me know if you guys, I can't see myself. So if I get too dark or something, I don't like my fluorescent lights, but I will use them if I'm too dark for you all. So just let me know. But the main objective here is to have cool, calm, confident kids that will, we will be cool, calm, confident parents and like be supportive of everyone. So um oils that are really fun to use. I like the oils one because they're something that anybody can use. They're not hard to do. You can't, I mean, the ones that we're going through are like already pre-made blends. So they're already balanced. They're safe for pretty much everybody and everything. You want to always try oils out on a small little area to make sure you don't have any personal sensitivities. But these are going to be like nice, easy tips, and then you can expand this. So this is just like the beginning toolkit, but that's definitely like not the end all be all like what's in there, and you can add a bunch of other things. But for the just for quick fixes, so emotions tend to be a major thing, and there's 2, 3, 4 different ways you can go about like attacking like how you want to go about it. We don't even have to attack. We can just like make friends with our anxiety, make friends with maybe like some of the stuff that we're struggling with going back to school. So like when my kids go back to school, it's always anxiety, like who's going to be my teacher? Who's the kids in my class? Is it going to be okay? They don't let me go to the bathroom when I want to go to the bathroom. All those kinds of things are really important for kids, and like going through them and talking out their day, kind of looking at their schedule. Those are all very helpful. But then if you want to take that a little bit further and give the power to the kids, let me know if someone's calling me right now. So I apologize. Hopefully you're all there. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we want to give the power to the kids, and we want to give the power to the parents and, to the rest of the world. So the oils that I have on this first page are really just simple oils, pre-made rollers that are really awesome. And some of them happen to be on sale this month too, which is kind of cool. So we'll just talk about adaptive, and feel free to like anyone has like other things they use the adaptive blend for. Feel free to chime in, but the adaptive blend I go to in my practice for anybody that's feeling off balanced, in that like anxiety, anxious, I just don't know if this is right. I'm not sure. I'm kind of stressed. I'm just a little restless. The adaptive blend is just a very nice, calm, centering, grounding blend that I use a lot in my practice. And we'll talk about where to put all the blends as we go. But adaptive, you can roll right on your wrist. You can put it on the bottom of your feet. I like some of the points on the back of my head, on the back of my neck, kind of just to relax. You can always, kids like to roll things like they like their spine. Kids like to touch it. So like you could tell them, roll it right on the back of your spine. It's a really nice place on the top of back of your neck, back of your head. And it's just a really nice calming blend, and it works phenomenally. And it doesn't matter if you're doing antidepressants, any of that stuff, the adaptive blend is totally safe for any and all people on that level. So that's the adaptive blend. The next blend that I really find helpful is the motivate. A lot of times, like I just can't get my kids out of bed in the morning. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to do homework. I don't want to do this. I don't want to. No, no, no. The motivate blend tends to really just like get people to pick things up. You can also use it to start new habits. So my kids are trying to do something new, this would be a blend that maybe I would add, like, okay, let's go get the motivate blend and let's do the activity and let's see if that helps us get through it. So just another thing, like they're going into math class. I hate math. Well, maybe they can go to the bathroom, rub a little oil or just smell it. It's amazing just lifting the cap off and just smelling it. So you don't even have to apply it if you don't want to smell like motivation. You can just smell it literally, and that will help too. So that's one of the motivation things that I like to do. Thinker again is kind of on that like path of motivation, but it's very specific to like you want to do good on tests, you want to learn a new skill. The thinker really opens up things and helps you connect and remember. So that's one of the things that like we're learning a new skill or something that we don't like. Let's try the thinker. Let's try different, activities. And then they could also blend these oils together. So like maybe they need to be calm and they need to be a good thinker. So they could apply the calming, maybe around the head where they can smell it. Oops, sorry guys. And then the thinker, maybe on their wrist to help them, just be better at taking their test or whatever it is. Use it on all kinds of, now I think, you know what, I'm going to just turn myself sideways. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. I think that'll be better. So the thinker is just some of those like just nice way to bring in new skills, add just some opening up synapses and making the brain work is how I think of thinker. If I want the brain to be functional, let's get the thinker going. The other blend that I really like, and those two are going to be kid blends, but that does not mean that big kids can't use them. So like, the thinker and the tamer is a belly tamer, but really anybody, all kids of all ages can use it. So the tamer I picked over the digest zen, because with going back to school, kids get sick on the playground. Like they spin, they run, they do a lot of things. They have to shift gears. Sometimes transitions can cause nausea and just like an upset stomach and things like that. So the tamer is just a really nice, soothing, gentle oil that you can use again in all those regular pulse point places. But also it was really nice to put on the belly and to rub your belly. So like sometimes kids wake up with that like morning time anxiety. I don't want to go to school. And that just keeps escalating. Maybe you could try just waking your kids up with a little bit of the tamer and just rub it on their belly and give them like a little belly massage and a motivational speech like you're going to be awesome today, Violet. I'm so excited for your day, whatever your kid's name is. And rub their belly. When I rub bellies, there's differences on how you want to rub it. So you can just rub it, but if you want to really do a little bit extra and a little bit of maybe some acupressure, that kind of stuff, 12 o'clock is at the top of the ribs, and think of 6 o'clock at the pubic bone. And then you want to go with the clock. I'm not sure if you can see my belly, but 12, 1, 2, 3. So you can kind of just rub the belly in a normal digestive fashion. Really nice. If your kiddos maybe are having like diarrhea or something, I would rub it against the clock to slow things down. So when you go with the clock, that helps digestion. When you go against the clock, that slows the digestion down. So you could work with that. If somebody's really constipated, you could go against the clock and break up the constipation and then put the healthy, we call it peristalsis, but it's the little cilia, the stuff in your intestines moving. So put that peristalsis back in. And then if kids are having tummy aches and stuff after they like play at the park or whatever, have them sit and just take a moment. Maybe they need to, I tell people to ground themselves. Kids don't know how to do that exactly, but one of my tricks is just to take your hands, put your chin down, and just bring your head back and then just sink back in. It's like maybe you're leaning against the wall, just sink back, stretch out the spine. That helps you get into a more of a parasympathetic, like rest, like digest, relax. So that's a kind of nice way to maybe add that tamer oil to the belly and then just sink down and ground, reset your vagus nerve. They don't even have to know what they're doing. Just say, hey, this calms you down when your belly doesn't feel good. A lot of times when we get in fight or flight, we don't digest our food. And that sometimes just happens when kids go outside and play because they get so excited that they're not in the classroom and they just ate a bunch of food. So like it could be that simple of what's happening with somebody is just, give them a little love, teach them how to do relax the neck, see if they can drop back down. Sorry, it's a little side note, but it's something really helpful if you're having that like constant anxiety or stress or belly stuff. Like try to just reset the vagus nerve. The next oil on there, and these are all rollers to make it as super easy and convenient as possible for anybody at home or at school. Lavender is like one of my very favorite oils. I use it all the time. I'm sure you all do too. But it's really good for any restlessness. Like it's helpful, like adaptive, except for it has a little bit more of other things going on with it because it's just lavender. So lavender is really good for calming. Phenomenal, really good for any kind of skin irritations, bug bites, anything minor. Don't, maybe not open skin, right? Do you put lavender on open skin things, Kimmy?
Yes.
Okay. So open skin is good too. Yeah, I put lavender and pepper. Yeah, so lavender is good. That you could just like throw in your and have it anytime. You can also do the pulse points just to calm down. I find it really grounding and really relaxing. You could have it, anywhere. So these are just like fast down and dirty oils. And then I'm going to go back to the oils, but I'm going to teach you a little bit about ear seeds and then how to use the ear seeds with the oils and then synergistically. So in my acupuncture practice, I use the first thing I do after I gather my information is put oils on people. So oils in my world work the fastest. They get into the nervous system, they get into the systemic, the whole body, like instantaneously. That was one of the reasons I switched over to doTERRA. I was a Young Living oil person, although Young Living has some good stuff. People can notice the difference the minute I even set the vial of oil like on their chest or something as a muscle testing. It's amazing. So I do the oil first, and then we go for, we want to get self-care in. So then what else can we give our kids and ourselves to do? So if we scroll to the next page, oh shoot, no, I just kidding. I forgot about my second page, Kimmy. I was just prepping for ear stuff. Hang
Oh,
on.
let me tell
I
you
gotta
something.
go. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go talk about the other oils. I forgot. I'm jumping right on in.
Rachel, there's this book. It's on brainessentials.com. This is Dr. Danielle Daniel. And she shows that lavender, I mean, it's one of the most researched oils for PTSD and for releasing fear. And it's because it works on, I don't know if you guys can see the picture of the brain. I can text a picture if
Mm-hmm.
you want it, but it shows what oils work on different parts of the brain. And the amygdala, like, remember on, it reminds me of Abdullah Oblongata.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Water Boy?
I think
Um,
so.
Mama said, so lavender works on the amygdala because it's for hypervigilance, for when we get stuck in those thought loops.
Mm-hmm.
And turmeric, any oil that has beta pinene. So that'd be like any of the furs, like balsam fir, black pepper. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. I like seeing, like, because these blends all correlate to different parts of the brain, like the motivate. It's going to have oils in there that are going to work on whatever part is for motivation. I don't know. I have to look it up. But anyway, I just wanted to add that in.
Super. Thank you, Kimmy, because you have way more information on oils in your brain than I do. I just use them because they work. But I have to do, I mean, still, we're all constantly learning. There's nothing that we know everything about because we wouldn't be on this planet anymore. We'd be too smart, too enlightened. But thank you. So like that's the other part, like you could teach your kids, like you could look that up together because one, you're learning about the brain, and two, connecting and understanding is an incredibly powerful thing. I'm doing lavender because I'm going to unleash my fears and my PTSD, that kind of stuff. Like that's super empowering. So thank you, Kim, for giving me real life experience because it's so much more beneficial and more meaningful. But yeah, we totally share that book because that is a book I was supposed to get because I think you shared it with me once before. So I got to get on that now.
It's called
Rachel,
Yes.
on one of the doTERRA classes this week, they had a testimony of a lady whose friend came over having a full out emotional breakdown. And she grabbed the adaptive and put it under the lady's nose, and it stopped the emotional breakdown pretty fast.
Amazing. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. So that's the power of the oils, and that's why I use them first in my practice. Sometimes I don't think I even need the needles after that. I use them because I'm trained. But yeah, I mean, it is pretty powerful stuff, and don't underestimate what you have in your hands. Like we have a lot of tools. We just don't always know. So awesome. Thank you. What was your name that's sharing? I can see your picture, but I don't know your name.
It's Donna.
Donna. Thank you, Donna. Appreciate that. So on the other things that we can do for building a healthy environment and a healthy, place for us to be, live, grow, go to school, you probably all know about the On Guard and the On Guard Touch. It does amazing, amazing things. Like some of the stuff I was looking through one of my books that like takes care of MRSA. I can tell you that there's drug resistant MRSA in the hospital that there's not an antibiotic that'll touch. So the fact that On Guard can be that powerful of an antibiotic without harming our immune system, right there, it just blows me away, because there's nothing in the hospital. I used to work as a nurse. I mean, I'm still a nurse, but there's nothing in the hospital that we put in people's bodies that do not have a side effect or something that we're going to have to deal with. So the fact that like these oils work without harming our natural body and biome and all the other incredible things in our stuff in our body is amazing. So topically and orally, we can use the On Guard. You can diffuse it. I threw in a little immunity support diffusing blend. That you're more than welcome to use. A lot of teachers use this blend specifically and have really good results with it in their classrooms and with their kids. From a nursing perspective, like we can diffuse any oils we want in a hospital setting, because you cannot have a true like you can't have a true allergic reaction by just smelling it. You may have some sensitivities, but it is not going to cause an allergic reaction. Like in the hospital, in the ICU, we cannot have flowers because we don't know who's allergic to what, and they could be having an anaphylactic shock because they're smelling, lilacs. So the cool thing about oils is like they're universally okay, and animals will just get out of the way if they don't like it. So go for it. Use your oils, diffuse them everywhere, share them with your friends and family. I will most likely talk to my teachers in all my kids' classrooms and offer to provide a diffuser for my kids' classroom. I can't diffuse the whole school. Well, maybe I can. I shouldn't doubt myself. But that's just something that like, then I know that like there's tons of molds and bacterias and funguses and all kinds of fun things growing in schools. So we really want to try to keep that environment as safe as possible for everyone that's breathing. So those are things that like, as parents, as grandparents, my daughter's going to be a teacher. So like, I'm putting together a care package of basically everything on here so that she has it in her classroom ready to go for her kids. Of course, like they'd have to ask about putting oils on people, but she does not have to ask permission to diffuse the oils in the classroom as long as the school's okay with it. So that's something that I would highly recommend. And then using your hand sanitizers and foam, the On Guard foam hand washing stuff, so much better than alcohol. So like I do needles, I put in acupuncture. It's actually now not good to even wipe the skin with alcohol because it decreases our natural flora. And with everything that's happened with COVID and everybody wanting like 99% bacterial free, like we have already had a problem, huge problem. Now we're creating epidemics of basically bacteria that we can't kill because we have used alcohol and all kinds of like big giant drugs on like simple little things that are now become monster things because they don't work with any of the cleaners that we have. So you're safer by the oils, like the natural stuff inside your plants is never gonna do this kinds of things that the chemicals do. Like we have not developed resistance to like lavender. We've been using lavender forever. It still works for people. So like you use antibiotics, you use them too much, and then suddenly that vancomycin or whatever isn't going to work for your MRSA or your cold or whatever because you've already overused it and you didn't kill all the bacteria. Now you have superbugs. So that's why I really recommend doing the hand sanitizers and the hand foaming wash, the On Guard stuff. Thieves is also good. If you have that, like I still have a bottle of these. I'm going to use it because it's good stuff. But like go to town and get your body and get your hands on the stuff and quit straight away, get away from the alcohol and anything alcohol based, because it's going to decrease our natural ability to fight off all of the stuff.
Rachel.
Go ahead.
At the University of Johns Hopkins University, they have their super bug unit. I think it's called the microbiology research, whatever building.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the gals started using doTERRA, and she realized that year, because she had shared Breathe and On Guard with her mother, she always ended up in the hospital around March or April with pneumonia. And that year she didn't. So then she presented it to her department and said, can we study this? And so they took the oregano and the On Guard, and they wanted to see what it would up against the superbugs. So just like what you said, they're not drug resistant.
Yep.
So it's amazing that we've got all this research to back it up.
It blows my mind. I mean, that's why I'm like so much into the oils, because these are things that have been naturally occurring on our earth forever. And they're not going to do what the drugs do. They're not going to do what the antibiotics do. Like Western medicine wants silver bullets. Well, I'd go back to like our plant medicine and make those, make the essential oils. That's the most potent amount that you can get out of the plant, is the essential oil component of it. It just doesn't make any sense to go do anything else but go for the oils. I mean, it's just, it blows my mind every day watching what I've seen in the hospital and then looking what I can do with oils. My main shifting over to oils was when I got bit by a cat, and I got bit by a cat in my arm up here, went into my artery, so into my bloodstream, into my arterial bloodstream, and into my nerves. As a registered nurse in the hospital, I should have needed IV antibiotics. I healed it with 100% oils. I didn't need any antibiotics, and I've never seen any other like cat bite that bad not need antibiotics. And I didn't even have oral antibiotics, didn't need it. 100% with the oils. So like, that was my, like, if I can do that, then we can do almost anything we want with oils. Like, it just opened the world to like, this is where I want to go. This is how I want to do my treatments, and like how I want to share how to heal and take care of yourself. Just mind blowing. And there's just more information and research every day, which is phenomenal. It's no longer this focus like voodoo stuff. Like, no, here's the evidence, here's the research. I should have got more evidence research. I didn't know who I was talking to today. I was trying to go fluffy. I'll have to go deeper next time. Any questions on this little stuff, little diffuser blend, that kind of stuff? We're going to talk about a little bit more on like self-care aspects of like, okay, we've gotten through the day, we have the main things taken care of. These are some of my other oils that I absolutely use every day, on the next page. So peppermint. I use peppermint for a ton of things. So, I mean, my clients go face down. So the very first thing I do after a face down treatment, everyone's full of snot. Peppermint opens the sinuses almost like as fast as I can think possible. I haven't found an oil that opens it up any faster. It's just phenomenal for like any kind of tension, any kind of belly stuff. So like peppermint and ginger are my go-to for my anti-nausea. So like if you were needing something for pregnancy, for I don't want to go to school, I don't feel good, peppermint and ginger, you could do a drop, you could do whatever. You can just bring it into your life, get it to like soothe and calm you down. But it also uplifts you. So like it calms me, but it like gives me lots of energy. I've watched Kim put a drop or two on the top of her head to keep driving, and it's super invigorating. It invigorates everybody in the car, whether we put the drop of peppermint on her head or not. It's phenomenal. Again, it works really good for like insect repelling, good for digestive, great for mood. Just an overall like great thing to have like in the car, to be honest. Like I'd probably keep it in the car because then you could use it for whatever you needed. Another couple things you could do for tension headaches, that kind of stuff after studying all day. I have been in love with my past tense. I've used it for nerve pain, for all kinds of things, but I've been putting it on the back of my neck. Kim gives me most of my stuff, so I'll have to compliment Kim again on the tension back. In fact, I stole this whole thing from her. But the tension, I put that with the basil on the back of my neck, right where the skull is, right in that area, but anywhere on the back of the neck will work. It's just phenomenal for just mellowing out. It gives you that nice little tingly kind of warm up, and then I just sink deeply. You can also mix that with their deep blue to give it a little bit more like calming effect, and maybe like into the shoulders, you could give yourself a little bit of a massage in there. You can repeat it as much as you want. I also really love basil for many things. Basil actually is phenomenal. My kids have been doing what are they called? Not dentures, braces. They don't need dentures yet, but we are definitely brace faces at our house. I've been using basil for analgesic. They've chosen basil over clove. So clove and basil are kind of my things that I put a drop in my mouth. It numbs it up. So basil works really well for numbing up pain systemically, like everywhere in your body. I had really bad pelvis stuff, drop a basil under my tongue, but it also will numb your whole mouth up. So if you're having a dental thing, basil is a pretty darn good thing to do. Plus basil's, antiviral, antibacterial, all that other good stuff. So super great thing to put in your mouth after a dental procedure. Anything else you got on those? Anyone else can throw anything out. I love it. And then my good old last favorite thing that I just found, because I'm newer to doTERRA, is the Terra Shield, which just is super fun to have. I love it for the bugs. We finally have mosquitoes. It rained up here while I was gone in Glenwood Springs. So now we finally have mosquitoes. And the Terra Shield seems to be phenomenal. I mean, you can also use your lavender, your peppermint, the individual blends in there, but it's a pretty slick thing. Really nice to throw again in like your kids' backpacks. Out and about, like just have it in there with all the nice little things you're gonna throw in there. It's just super nice, and we're going into fall and camping, so like have it available, make it convenient, make it fun. The other thing that I like to do, my kids don't take baths anymore. And we're speaking to parents, we're just too busy sometimes. So another little self-care thing you can add into your life is shower steamers. They're super fun. I used to make bath bombs. The shower steamers I just made yesterday, they're actually, well, I haven't finished forming them because it takes 2 days, but I like them even nicer. You throw them in like in the back of your back in your shower, like away from the water, and your whole bathroom like steams up. It's super nice. I chose peppermint just because it's uplifting, it's motivating, it's good for the morning, it's anti-nausea. But you could put, my dears, any oils you want. So it says 25 drops. So I would do any combination, but 25 drops seems to be about the right amount of oil for all of the steamers. You make like 12 of them. So I would just play around with what oils I want and make a bunch of them. So make some peppermint ones, make some like more soothing ones, some calm ones, maybe make some with lavender, maybe make some with like whatever you like. But those are super fun, super easy. And the kids could also make them too. So like you could make them together, you could hand them out, for like, we make our own presents for Christmas, but like something really nice. Like you don't want to get out of the bed, I'll get you a shower steamer, and then maybe they'll get out of bed. So maybe you have kids that get out of bed, but I have one child that I think I'd rather just like put the shower in his room and maybe he'd wake up. I can't get him to wake up. My 15-year-old, like I cannot wake him up. I could lay on top of him, couldn't wake him up. So maybe he needs a shower steamer. He's close to the bathroom. I could just knock a wall through, steam him awake. So those are just some like quick, fun, self-care stuff, quick oils that you can use that are fun and easy and effective. And now I'm going to talk about ear seeds because this is my favorite part about, well, okay. I can't do a lecture or something like this without teaching you something new. And if anyone wants any of these kits, so I have ear seeds and ear probe. If anyone wants one of these, I will let you know how much they are and I'll mail them to you. They're really not very expensive. They're super fun to use. So I do ear seeds all the time for people. I have a special, like, so the ear seed points you're looking at right now, those are like the 5 points. If you wanted to do something, those are the 5 best points to put in your body to just overall calm you down, balance you, and make you a rock star. So the Shen Men up here in the top corner, that one is just like a very good calming point. It's super easy to find. You just like bring your finger into your hole, slide it out, and where it gets to the tip, that's the hole. I have a fancy little like pointer guide that's got a little ball on it that I use. So like, I'm gonna come really close to my camera. So I'm gonna slide out, I'm gonna find the sensitive spot and I'm gonna press it and I'm using my hand behind there. You could use any little thing that you want to press into your ear to make like what you want, but you're gonna make a little ball basically. So now I have that little divot. Then I'm gonna take the seed.
Do you
So
find
that
a
was
sensitive spot? That's how you know.
a sensitive spot. Yep. So you find the area and then you find a sensitive spot within that area. And you don't need a seed. Like you could just push on it, make it, rub it, make it get all like kind of like warm and irritated. That is the same thing as doing an ear seed. You just have to do it over and over. So the ear seeds are literally like a seed. So it's a little black seed. I like the little button because then I can find it. I'm like, okay, there it is. Then I take my finger, bend it back a little, and then I find that groove. Find it, it sinks right in, and then I stick it in. Then I can just rub it. Can you all see that seed?
Yeah.
Perfect. So then you just rub it in. So like you could hit that point, you could just be rubbing your ears just like that, and that'll calm you down. And then if you got super anxiety, add the oil. Maybe put the oil on first to calm you down a little bit to find that point. And then add that point and then put the oil back on or smell it one more time while you're pressing that point to activate. Now you're smelling calm, you're feeling calm, and then your body is going to initiate that calm feeling much quicker. So I like to use the oils and acupressure or acupuncture together because they are so synergistically working together. So that's like the easiest point. I leave this point in. You can leave these seeds in for like a week. As long as that the skin underneath feels happy and healthy, it's fine. You're not poking a hole in your ear. So you could use it for as long as it stays on. You can take a shower with it. All of that is fine. Just go to town. It's like regular skin. In these ear things, so you can see there's information on the Shenmen. It's the most widely like sedative. Then there's the sympathetic. Now the sympathetic is not to like put you into sympathetic. It's to activate the sympathetic to get you out. And so you can see the difference. There's like holes and then there's white things. And then there's this 0.0 that I could not for the life of me. No, there's the lung and then 0.0 that I couldn't fix. I had to add my point in there. But the white ones are ones that go under your ear. So like this one right here, sympathetic, is just in the groove. So like it's inside here. So you would just follow it, find that sensitive spot and throw in a ear seed right there. That one you can't even see. So if you wanted to be in a place where you didn't want people to see, I would do the sympathetic and then I would do the kidney. Kidneys are important for calming things down because the end of the endocrine system is where the adrenals are, and the adrenals live on top of the kidneys. So the adrenals are like the head of the kidney. So when we as an acupuncture want to do anything with the adrenals, I go for the kidney. And so that one's like underneath. So these are things that you don't have to like know for sure. These are just points I like to use. And they're easy to find. So if I was like, oh, I want to find something, like you could just scroll your little pointer. Ooh, that's really sensitive. I want to hold right on that point. And maybe you're on the kidney point, maybe you're on something, but you're on a sensitive point and you're working on a specific thing that you want to do. And it's okay if you're not perfect. What it matters is the right intention and, getting yourself in a good place. So I'm going to slide to the next one because this one is kind of fun. It basically has your whole entire body on your ear. So this is something where, your kid is having a specific issue. They need something to help. So like I had, one of my kids did not want to take tests. He freaked out. And so I put in the calming point and then I put in, a grounding point in the middle, that 0.0. And I just had him press on them, find it. And so he sat there and did his test, like holding his ear and writing his test. And he realized that kept him really nice and calm. So now we just put those seeds on when we know we're going to have a test. And that gives him so much more control over his body, feeling like he's doing something to help himself. And that just keeps him cool, and that helps regulate his nervous system so that he can stay focused. And then I could add in maybe the thinker, the motivator. Maybe he needs the adaptive because he gets too excited for test taking. So you kind of like need to play around with, okay, what kind of emotion is my child like exhibiting, or what emotion am I exhibiting? It doesn't have to be the kid, like what's really going on. And then we could add seeds. So this ear thing is just really cool to be able to give you like basically any part of the body. It starts at the top of the ear, is kind of like the big parts of the legs, the arms, and then the tip of the ear kind of by your earlobe is like your face. So if you think of it, it's kind of like the earlobe is like your head, and then your spine kind of goes up this area, and then the lower part. So you can like put a whole baby in your ear, and then where the baby lays is basically where your anatomy is. But again, like if you're like, oh, I have intestinal issues, well, let's go under that ridge and see like where your intestinal issue is. I should get my ear guy out, but I don't have one. It's like, okay, that's a tender spot. So that would be something you could either just press on if you didn't want to do the ear seeds, or you could get an ear seed, or you could just go back in there and be like, okay, I need to stimulate that point. I need to poop. Okay, let's get that in there. Okay, that'll actually get your intestines moving, get things changing. So it's just another way to tap into your body. So your whole body lives on your ear, your whole body lives on your hand, and your whole body lives on your feet, on each hand too. So like you could take that, you could take the ear and transpose it to your hand, and this is the front of the body, is the palm, and this is the back of the body. So here's the back of the head, here's the arms, here's like the butt, and here's the legs that come up on the sides. So you could go through and use your little poker like, oh, I've got low back pain. I wonder if I can find a spot through here and press like, ooh, right there feels good. Maybe I have a little knot. See if you can rub it out. So now we're doing like acupressure on our hands, just like the ear, but just another way that maybe you or your kid or somebody in your life could be like, oh, that's interesting. That's right where it is. Like I have people that have lateral sides of their neck and they have nodules on the sides of their fingers. So now I'm digressing. But there may be a little knot, a little bump that like you could rub out to help with when you put that tension blend on the back of your neck. So those are just quick things to go around and like play with. The heart point, I love on this ear thing. It's really, really big. It's right where this little notch is. It's right there. The heart point does a lot of, the heart is okay, let me back up again. Traditional Chinese medicine, the heart houses our shen, which is our mind. So if we want to treat the mind in acupuncture, I treat the heart. So I put in a lot of these heart seeds for people that are having restless issues, difficulty sleeping, heart palpitations, difficulty with expressing joy or having inappropriate joy or not being able to find joy or any kind of something that's not quite right. I go to the heart and see if we can just calm it down. So those are some quick areas that you can play with, and we can like talk back and forth so that you can understand the whole ear thing, because this is a whole new thing for you, but it just gives you another way to use the oils with the acupuncture or acupressure.
Oh, okay.
I know I'm like flying today.
So all those oils that we just talked about, those are all the ones that are on special.
Most of them.
Most of them until Friday, right?
Yeah, so Rock and Roll, and they have a really cool bubble diffuser for a bubble. What is it called, Kimmy? The bubble thing that has the on guard.
Yeah, the little tiny bubble diffuser that everybody goes nuts over.
Yep.
I need to order a couple before they are sold out.
Yeah, don't order them too fast. I'm putting my order in now.
So they come with the on guard, so that's like really good gifts for teachers, and I have it near like gross areas like the cat box.
Mm-hmm.
Places that generally stink, the bathroom.
Yep. It was cool, like in their motion activated. So like where we're at in Glenwood Springs, there was one in the bathroom, and like it was great. Every time I walked in, it was just like poof. And I was like, oh. I don't know what oil it was, but it was very calming. I was like, I could just stay in the bathroom all day and just like wave my hand in front of the bubble thing and I would be totally content. But yeah, I would definitely suggest, like, if you got friends and family teachers, rock out some of these oils, help people stay healthy, safe. Like, it's amazing how effective they are, and they work if they can work in the hospital setting, they can work anywhere. We have the worst bugs there. So questions, comments, go to town. I'm going to try not to talk.
Rachel,
Yes.
explain to me about the seed. What is it made of? And, you know, is it something specific you buy for a certain place, or?
So the seeds are very specific. They look like broccoli seeds, and they are a specific plant seed that at this very moment I can't remember, but it is a special Chinese seed that they've been using for thousands of years. You can get these seeds like if you have a Chinatown in your city, you know, like Chicago, I don't know how close you are to San Francisco, like those kinds of places have Chinatowns. Easy place to go. Anybody that does traditional medicine should have these. But they are like, it's just breathable, like medical tape with a seed on it. So it should not cause any issues unless you have like tape sensitivity. But I have medical grade ones with the regular white, the ones that you see like that clear tape at the hospital. I like the brown tape. It breathes better and they last longer on the ear. But I could, you know, totally hook you up with some or show you more detailed ones. And then there's some really yucky
So
sticky
does
ones
the tape
too.
stay on the seed
Yep.
when you put it? Okay.
Yeah,
So
so here, let
you're
me show
actually
you. This is like how they come. So it's like a grid. Then the seeds
okay.
are in each one of these holes. Can you see that? Maybe I
Okay.
can get a little closer. There.
Okay.
So that's that. And then when I take them off, it's just like this brown medical tape. And then
Okay.
there's the little seed on there. So some people buy more of this brown tape, sage the seed, put the seed back in this little hole, and then tape it up and rescore it. If you want to get really reusable friendly, that is something you can do. So I have people that do that all the time. I'll give them a pack. Although like there's 100 seeds in there in this little pack and it's like a couple bucks. So like I just buy new seeds, but you could do whatever you wanted based on what works best for you. But they're super tiny. You could also, there's also tacks that you can use in your ears with like a little needle. And that's really effective too, but I don't like to use the little needles for kids, and I don't like them for this kind of thing. The tacks are really they can be more painful, and they're putting a hole in your skin so that you can't leave them there as long, and if they fall off then you might step on one. If you step on this, like nothing's going to hurt you on this little seed. You may grow something, I doubt it, but yeah. Any other questions on that?
I liked what you were talking about when we were at Monica's house, that when you use the oils and the acupuncture needles to open up the meridian, the energy lines, and then you put the seed on after to continue the
Yep.
energy flowing.
Exactly. They prolong your treatments. So like I have major anxiety people, so I will do an anxiety treatment with acupuncture and oils. Then I will make a custom blend for them specifically for their trip so that they have their blend of oils that are going to work for their anxiety. And then I give them, so hang on one second. I'm going to grab one thing. But I will, I've got this really big book, but it gives you like, we're just gonna open it up to like a random page here. Maybe if I can find a random page. Okay, so these are endocrine points. So here's all the endocrine points that you could possibly want. There's a lot of points, right? So that's where you go through. So like, say I'm working on somebody's stress, I'll take a picture of this. We'll go through the points. I'll put the seeds on where they are, and then I'll teach them how to do it. Then they can go and either replace the seed, or they can say, hey, I'm having more issues in the front of my head. I want to go to the frontal cortex. I'm going to use this point and I'm going to put it in this area that's sensitive. So it helps prolong their treatments. And then the oils open up the pathways to get the energy where we're going. And that's like the beautiful thing about them, is they're constantly synergistically feeding off of each other. And this way I can get people through like trips. They can get an airplane, they can do this. So they may be here rubbing and doing their like, I am cool, calm, and confident, cool, calm, and confident. And they may be smelling their oil, like whatever it takes to get them where they need to go. But that just helps just make things deeper. And then we want to put in the correct brain pathways. So our brain is really smart at being like, oh, that hurt me. Okay, if I ever have that sensation again, my body's got to be prepared for it. This is a little bit different. We're preparing the body for that sensation so that we can walk through it a little bit easier. So the oils and the seeds just prolong, make them work better. Why not have more bang for your buck? And you're doing it yourself. You don't need an acupuncturist or a practitioner to help you or to tell you what to do. You could do it yourself. Does that make more sense? Or
Yeah,
help? Perfect.
Yeah, that was great.
Perfect. Cool.
that was awesome.
Yeah, what else you got for me? I'm full of a lot of information, although I'm no good unless you ask me a question.
Have you put seeds on animals?
So seeds on animals are fine, although I would put them in places they can't lick it off. So I would do a seed over a magnet. So seeds are totally fine. If they eat this, that's fine. But it's hard. So you got to get it. So if you wanted to put it on their skin, you got to either like spread their skin out or their hair. I'm sorry, spread their hair out to get it on the skin. So I'll do seeds. Some of them you could actually try. I have never tried ear seeds in an actual, like in the animal's ears. I put them on other parts of the body. So like Sparky's hips hurt. So I'll put them on the top grooves where he, like when I press, he sinks in and I'm like, okay, that's somewhere where I need to get something in. So I'll do seeds there. But you could do magnets too. I just wouldn't want them to like eat the magnets, but the magnets are too small to like, they won't hurt them anyways. But we could try your dog. I have an acupressure chart for dogs.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I'll bring some seeds down. We'll see if we can do something. I don't know what he needs, but we'll have to figure out something.
They don't need anything, but well, I don't know about Pickle's licking, but we already learned that it's a good thing that she licks. So
Right. Good, healthy flora.
well, it means loyal when they lick.
Ah, well then my dog is very loyal.
Yes. I have a question. How long do you keep it in your ear? I think I
So
missed that part.
you can keep it in as long as it's not irritating your skin. So like this, I'll sometimes leave this in for a week, sometimes longer. If it's not bugging me, if it starts itching and irritating me, then my skin is no good. Sometimes I'll take it off and I'll put it somewhere else. So I'll just peel it off and then put it on another place on my ear. I can't figure out where I put mine. So like if you can get it to come off, I can't even get mine to come off, but if you could get it to come off, you could put it somewhere else. I just leave them. But like when we were going through acupuncture school, I can't tell you, everybody had like 40 ear seeds on everything. We had like, okay, this is for studying, this is to remember this point, this is for that, this is for this is for because I can't stand my mother, this is for something else. And then I would be pushing them. So like I use ear seeds, but I also use magnets all over your body. So like I use magnets, I use seeds, and I use tacks to do things with. So like sometimes I have people that do not want needles. So then I'm like, okay, you're getting an acupuncture appointment with oils and magnets and maybe cups or seeds or tacks. So like my magnets kind of look like this, but they're magnets instead of seeds. And then the tacks look just like this, except for it's a teeny little like needle. I just don't do that because a lot of times I just don't want needles falling out other places and then I get in trouble for it. It's the nurse in me. Too many years in the hospital. It's why I struggled with not using alcohol. I was like, are you sure you want me not to use alcohol on this point before I put in? I'm like, are you really sure? I know the research says don't do it, but for 20 years of spending like years in the hospital, it's hard to break some of those habits, even though they're not actually good.
Yeah, right.
They're just habits.
I have one more question because I was curious.
Yeah.
My cats, they like to be outside a lot. So sometimes I get worried, like, okay, if they're not rowdy cats. But anyway, what did you use for your cat bite? Like, what oil helped assist?
So it happened, unfortunately happened when I was in a concussed state, but it was basil, oregano,
Mm.
melaleuca, those three. And then I did what is the oils? So I was still using Young Living at the time. So it's the Inner Defense, but I know we have something for doTERRA. Hang on, let me pull up doTERRA. There's an immune,
Is not On Guard. You use
Is
Can
it
you
On
drop that
Guard?
in the
It is
chat?
On
The
Guard.
Melaleuca, can you drop that in the chat?
that's tea tree.
Tea tree. Yep, it is the On Guard one. Yep, you're absolutely right. So it's
Okay.
the oil capsules of the On Guard. Let me just pull it up. Protective blend. I think it's that.
On Guard, soft gels, tea tree, oregano, basil. Cat scratch fever.
Yep. It was ridiculous.
Okay. I have all that. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, you pretty much, I mean, like that's the cool thing about oils is like you don't need all the fancy blends. They're just really convenient for kids. You know what I mean? Like I make most of my blends myself. I just and I can teach you how to muscle test sometime too. And then just figure it out. But like those are my go-to. And like, yeah. I just downed the On Guard capsules. Like I took, I think three or something a day. Like I just nailed it. But I did not have to go in, and it originally looked horrible. It was bright red. Like I wish I would have taken pictures, but I was not in a good state of mind to do anything. But I didn't let my cat back in again. My cat stayed outside then for the rest of its existence at my house. Cause it was a really weird thing. It like bit on and then it just held on. Like it didn't let go. It
no.
wasn't angry. It like wrapped around my whole arm, and I literally just had to walk around the house for like 5 minutes until it let go of my arm. No, so I had to go take it and get tested because it was an outside cat and there was nothing wrong with it. And I was like, I can't have a cat doing this with nothing. I mean, like if there's something wrong, we could treat it, we could get it better, but like
Right.
I just had to I gave it to a lady that liked biting cats. And I gave her the oils that I had. I was like, well, here's the oils I used when it bit me. So, but she wanted it. So I was like, okay, here you go. She's beautiful. Really nice cat when she's not eating your arm off.
I'd love to learn about the muscle testing.